So all my business is referral base. I mean, the bottom line is, would you hire him again? Absolutely. That's my objective at the end of the day. Would you hire me again? So, and if they say yes, I think, and I've got a bunch of clients that are, they call me all the time. They invite me to birthday parties. We're basically going to be business partners. And it's a two-way trust. It's a two-way trust thing. We're human beings, but yet it's a little bit more than that. You're always constantly, hey, we ran into this, or hey, this happened, or tell me what you think the intent is here, because this is what I think, and we might need to talk about this connection or this scope of, or how these two trim elements come together, or all these things. I'm not sure that really is going to look right because of X, Y, and Z. So I think that's really the key piece. Letting them know up front what's happening, where you are, what's going on, what you need, what do they need, all of that. I think that's really fundamentally, that's really what it is the fact that I stay out in front of everything. I copy everybody on the email thread. I'm articulate about how I write. I proofread and then re-proofread because I don't want to look like some 13-year-old that's, texting another 14-year-old. I'm a professional, so you have to come off as such. So vernacular, spelling, all of that really ties in. And it's not only via email, it's also text and phone calls. Sometimes texting, there can be a disconnect with the text, especially intent. So I really pay attention to that because you got to text and write like you talk because of who you are and what you represent and what you're trying to get across. So it's very important to me, especially, that I proofread everything, that I articulate it the way I want it to sound and come across. So I think it's probably the communication. So when I first started, which is like 18-year-old kid, thought I was going to work for the summer. Now here it is 2019 and this is what I'm doing for a living. So I'm really grateful for that. So it was like almost like a training scenario. And and it's so physical. It was so hard. Those guys would yell at you all the time. Is that all you can carry? You need to run, Sherwood. And once you kept showing up, kept working hard, ask the questions, pay attention, eventually you earn their respect. And it was a mixed bag of guys, different types of players. And so we had we had a guy that was like head of the Hells Angels from Vallejo, and he had a couple of his guys that were bikers that came on board and were part of the framing team. We had guys that would show up, everybody had an issue, something, hungover, whatever the case may be. But as you go through the months and the years, everybody had a part on the team. They might put you on the bench for a little bit, but then eventually, you earn your way back. Ultimately, it was about respect. There's nobody that appreciates and honors and admires labor more than me because I know where I came from and where I started and where I am now. And so to me, there's nothing more important than respecting and honoring labor. For me, it's more about getting a chance to work with those guys. And as you go through the years, you realize how much they taught you, how much wisdom they had and trade experience that rubbed off on you because I took the time to ask the questions as well as watch. As a general contractor, you're allowed to do three trades other than carpentry. So I could do electrical, drywall, stucco, but three, I'm allowed to do three, but I don't because I'm not proficient at it. So I have drywall contractors, concrete contractors, electricians, plumbers, roofers, insulating contractors. I have the full team of everyone that has the expertise to do these different facets within the industry: waterproofing, underground drainage, excavation, everything. So, I mean, that's what, as a general contractor, you're allowed to do, and manage quite a bit. I think a big piece of this industry is one is problem solving, troubleshooting, and things are going to happen. And I'm a big believer in when the shit hits the fan, who's going to respond and how. I'll take full responsibility for my team. I will never throw anybody out of the bus. Now, depending on what happens, we get after the fact. I'm always about let's stay in the solution. Let's not focus on the problem because there's a solution to everything. And I think that's a big piece of it. And when you have solution problem solving teammates, subcontractors, things are going to happen and they rally and can figure it out. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does, in any industry. with anything. There's always going to be a situation that comes up. Oh gosh, I thought, no, let's, how are we going to fix this? They represent me. Even though I pay them, they're a representative of Sherwood Incorporated or Eric Sherwood Construction, really is what they are. And, growing up playing sports and working with those ragtag friggin' ex-cons and all those guys during that first 15 years working with when I first started in the industry, it's a team. We're a family. I've seen it all, been there, heard it all, I've been part of it, watched it. And so I think all of that is what creates this element of team and family. And look, you can't get through life or do anything or be successful at anything on your own. It takes, what does it take? It takes a village. And that's the truth. I pride myself in seeing my guys grow and be successful. And I've had guys that work for me for like 5, 6 years. Then they decide to get their license and then go out on their own. And, I encourage that because it's not about me. And it's not about what I can put in my pocket or how successful I am or what I have or what I own or what's in the bank. It's about people and not only the ones that work for me, but the ones that work with me. I am only as good as my subcontracting team and my guys, honestly. And so the tricky part is that when you have talented subcontractors, I'm not the only GC they're working for. So that it's all about timing and communication again. I'm one of those guys, I'm loyal, and loyalty is a big piece of where I come from and who I am. And if you deliver the goods, then I'm going to keep using you. However, when it comes to business, I can't have somebody on my team I have doubts about. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to deliver the goods and I'm going to get paid for that. That's really what it comes down to. And so once we can reach an arrangement, we have a contract with each other, then I execute all of it going forward. Anytime you can develop a relationship with somebody, work together, get paid for it, and at the end of the day, they want to open up a bottle of wine, have a glass of wine with you just to talk about your wife and your family and where you are because you've taken a genuine interest in who they are and where they come from during that construction process, which is also a piece of the client relationship. You make it personal because it is. I mean, the results that I provide, I take what I do personal, you know. So I want to make it personal for them, and it's just who I am. Anyway, we're all intertwined in a certain way, and as long as you realize that and can balance it all, be transparent, be consistent, be honest, and deliver the goods, you're going to have some success. You hire me, we have an agreement, then you get my heart and soul.